Why did I decide to change? What clicked in my head that made me want to go from a skinny, fat, out of shape little twerp to progressively turning into a strong and powerful man? What made me really make that change? This is exactly the thoughts that were running through my mind the day that I decided to change. I was walking into the gym, and I was already, me and my wife, we had our first kid. We were living in our first starter home. It was a great time. It really was. So I'm pretty overweight. I'm not super overweight. I'm pretty overweight. I have no muscle mass on me. I'm way more out of shape than I was when I was a kid, when me and my wife first got together. So I walk into the gym one day, and I saw this girl. She was in great shape. You could definitely tell she worked out. You could definitely tell she put time and effort into herself. And she looked really good. And I was like, I wonder what she would think if she saw me. And I already knew the answer to that. Like, I'm out of shape. I don't look good. I'm not attractive. I'm not appealing. My thoughts immediately went to my wife. If a woman at the gym or the grocery store would see me and think, unattractive, out of shape, whatever, what does my wife think? My wife's a woman. Doesn't she have the same thoughts? Doesn't she have the same feelings? Doesn't she want the same things? Doesn't she want a strong, healthy, in shape, capable man? She definitely doesn't want a skinny, fat, out of shape guy who doesn't give a shit about himself, who doesn't take care of himself, who doesn't look like he cares. So thought number one was, man, I bet my wife doesn't even find me attractive. And thought number two was this: if going into marriage, I don't expect to ever separate. I expect me and my wife to be together for the rest of our lives. And number two, I expect her to be faithful to me. Then I am limiting my wife to one man for the rest of her life. As a woman that I love, why would I choose to give her the only man that she'll ever have for the rest of her life? Why would I choose to give her a piece of shit? Is it love? Do I care about my wife's happiness if I say, hey, you're going to live your entire life and never have an attractive husband. You're never going to have a husband that you can be proud of. You're just going to have a piece of shit for the rest of your life. Those two thoughts right there made me decide to change literally that day. Now, it was a long journey trying to figure out what to do and how to do it and things like that, but that was the deciding factor for me. I thought about my wife, and I was like, man, I want to give her so much more than I'm giving her right now. I'm giving her like nothing. I'm giving her just this man who doesn't even care about himself. What is she, when she looks at me, do you think that she's looking at me like, damn, you look good? No. She's probably like, well, I love him. So if I'm really saying, hey, we're going to be together for the rest of our lives, and I expect you to be a faithful woman and not cheat on me. So basically, you're only going to be with one man for the rest of your life, and the man that I'm choosing for you to be with is just a slob, just doesn't care. Negative. I decided a long time ago I wanted to change, and I'm not trying to sound cliche, and you could, you're just making it up. I'm not making it up. She was the deciding factor. She was my motivator. She was the reason where I said I am going to be a strong, capable, healthy man. One day my wife is going to look at me and be like, man, I really scored. We only have one life to live. Only one. The man that I am going to choose for my wife to be with is going to be a man. And not a slob. Not some selfish, lazy little boy. A real man. Someone that she can look at with the googly eyes and just be like, man, you look good. We all have a reason. What is that reason? Maybe you get rejected by every man or woman that you try to pursue. Maybe you realize you've let yourself go. Maybe you just had your first grandkid and you're like, if I don't change something, I'm not going to be around by the time they're 15. And if I am around, I definitely won't be passing the football with them. We all have a reason. What is your reason? Figure out what your reason is and let that be your motivator. Do not let anything hold you back. There is nothing worth keeping yourself from achieving your dreams. There is not one reason I can think of on this planet, not one, that I could think of that's too hard or too scary that I would allow my wife to live the rest of her life never being able to fully enjoy and appreciate her husband. Figure out what your reason is and capitalize on it. Make it happen. Do it. It's important to you. It is important. So make it happen.